Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Always excited to dig into a new case study.
Well, get this. Today, we're heading over to Vietnam.
Oh, interesting. What's on the agenda for Vietnam?
We're talking on-demand massage, but not just any massage. We're diving into a company called Zen Wellness App, and their focus on partnering with luxury hotels.
Luxury hotels and on-demand massage? That's an interesting combination. What kind of information do we have about them?
We've got a good mix. We're looking at articles, marketing materials, even some financial data that gives us a peek behind the curtain of their business model. And let me tell you, that revenue split is something else.
Okay, now you've got me intrigued. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is Zen Wellness App and how does it work?
So picture this. You're checked into a beautiful hotel in Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City. Jet lag is hitting hard.
There.
Right.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to track down a reputable massage place, you open an app and boom, certified therapist at your door. That's Zen in a nutshell.
Like a Grab, but for massages.
Exactly. And they've really leaned into the whole convenience factor. I mean, you can book through the app, track your wellness journey, even earn loyalty stamps. They've even got a little something special for your birthday month.
Free massage.
You got it. Free massage just for being born. But it's not just about being user-friendly. It's also about being smart. They've incorporated AI to give personalized therapist recommendations.
Oh, wow. So it's not just about finding a therapist nearby, it's about finding the right therapist for you.
Exactly. Think recommendations based on your pressure preference, your travel fatigue, even it's about as high-tech as a massage experience can get.
That's impressive. But haven't we seen this kind of thing before? What makes Zen stand out, especially in a place like Vietnam?
That's where things get really interesting. You see, massage in Vietnam isn't just a luxury, it's woven into their culture.
That's true. It's much more commonplace there than in many other parts of the world.
Exactly. And Zen understands that. They're not just applying some cookie-cutter approach. They're tapping into that existing demand, but with a tech twist. Even their payment options reflect a deep understanding of the local market. They prominently feature Momo, that popular Vietnamese e-wallet.
Right, right. It's like they've really done their homework. They've nailed the user experience. But what about the business side? Where do these luxury hotels come into play?
So that's where things get really clever. They've created this whole B2B platform called Zen App Pro specifically for hotels, especially those targeting the luxury market.
I can see the appeal. Instead of building out their own in-house spa services, hotels could offer this as an add-on.
Right? You've got it. It's a win-win. Guests get a convenient, high-quality service, and the hotels. Well, let's just say they're not complaining about the extra revenue stream.
I bet. But I do wonder how this impacts the therapists themselves.
And how this all works with hotels that already have their own spa facilities?
We should definitely dig into both of those aspects. Well, before we jump into the therapist side of things, I'm really curious about this revenue split you mentioned. It's one thing to say it's a win-win, but I'm guessing the hotels aren't getting the bigger piece of the pie.
You're not wrong. Buckle up for this one because it's a 90-10 split in Zen's favor.
Whoa, 90%?
Yes.
Seriously? That seems, I don't know.
Little lopsided?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, sure, it's a nice bonus revenue stream for the hotels, but still, 90%.
It sounds more dramatic than it is. Remember, we're talking about a service that requires almost no effort on the hotel's part, no overhead, no logistics, no nothing. Zen handles it all.
Right, right. They're basically outsourcing their spa service, but without any of the usual headaches.
Precisely. And we even have some concrete numbers to put this into perspective. Remember Fusion Suites Saigon?
Yeah, one of the hotels mentioned in the materials.
That's the one. So last year, they raked in over 859 million Vietnamese dong just from partnering with Zen.
Hold on, let me grab my calculator. Okay, so in US dollars, that's
Roughly 36,000.
not too shabby, especially for a service they're not actively managing. Okay, I'm starting to see how this 90-10 split might not be such a bad deal for the hotels.
It's all about perspective. And when you factor in the enhanced guest experience, the positive reviews, potentially even increased customer loyalty.
Right, because happy, relaxed guests tend to spend more, right?
Bingo. It all contributes to a healthier bottom line for the hotel, even with that smaller percentage. Plus, let's not forget that Zen provides all the marketing materials. They're not just saying, here's an app, good luck.
They're actively invested in making sure this partnership is profitable for everyone.
But what about hotels that already have their own spas? Wouldn't they see Zen as competition?
That's a really good point. And yeah, for those hotels with these massive in-house spa facilities, I can see how this might not be as appealing.
It'd be interesting to know if Zen has encountered any resistance from those types of hotels, or maybe if they've had to adjust their approach at all.
Maybe they focus more on hotels without those resources or the space for a full-blown spa. Or even as a way to supplement their existing spa services, for those times when they're completely booked.
Exactly. It's all about finding that niche, that sweet spot where this type of service really adds value.
Yeah,
But you were right earlier, we do need to circle back to the therapists. Their experience is just as crucial in this whole equation.
absolutely. After all, they're the ones on the front lines delivering those amazing massages. Let's dive into that next.
So, spill the tea. What's the deal with the therapists? Are we talking full-time employees, or is this more of a gig economy situation?
It's definitely more of a partnership. They're independent contractors, free to set their own hours, work with other platforms, the whole 9 yards.
So Zen gives them the platform, the client base, but the therapists get to stay flexible.
Exactly. Autonomy is a big deal in this field, and it seems like Zen gets that. Plus, remember that whole AI personalization thing we talked about?
How could I forget? Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but for massages.
Right. Well, that also means they have certain standards for their therapists. They're not just letting anyone onto the platform.
So it's not just about convenience, it's also about quality control.
Exactly. They're looking for certified, experienced therapists who can really deliver that 5-star experience. It's all interconnected, isn't it?
It's like they've created this whole ecosystem, this little world where everybody wins. Zen wins, the hotels win, the therapists win, and of course the clients get an amazing massage.
Precisely.
Hmm.
And speaking of winning, at the helm of this whole operation, Popit Seldrin, the founder.
Ah, yes, the mastermind behind it all.
Well, no stranger to the world of business. Over 20 years of experience in media, branding, a serial entrepreneur, and from what I've read, really seems to have a knack for spotting opportunities where others might not.
Sounds like hit the jackpot with Zen. But where do they go from here? What are their grand plans for the future? World domination.
Maybe. Who knows? But in the near term, they've talked about expanding throughout Vietnam and eventually venturing into Southeast Asia.
Ambitious. But hey, if they can make it work in one market, why not others? Especially with the global wellness tourism market exploding like it is.
Exactly. I mean, we're talking about an industry that's projected to reach trillions of dollars in the next few years. It's a smart move to position themselves within that growth trajectory.
Absolutely. They're not just riding the wave, they're building the surfboard.
And they're doing it in a way that's sustainable, scalable, and beneficial to everyone involved. It's a good reminder that even in well-established industries, there's always room for disruption, for fresh thinking, for doing things differently.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It really makes you think about the future of, well, everything. I mean, who knows what other industries could benefit from this kind of on-demand, tech-driven approach?
It's exciting to think about. And a little bit daunting, right? The pace of change is only accelerating.
No doubt about that. But hey, that's why we do these deep dives, to explore these trends, to ask these questions, and hopefully to leave our listeners feeling informed, intrigued, and maybe even a little bit inspired.
Absolutely. And on that note, I'm ready for my next massage.
Me too. Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep those deep dives coming.